This segment of the Long Life Era, powered by Paul Mortuaries and Cemeteries. Stay active, be healthy, they'd rather wait. Marla Letitia, founder of Long Life Era Community Facebook group. We also know her as Nanny Bubby. When we talk about living in our Long Life Era, first off, can you identify who we is specifically as an age group?
Yes, it's from age 50 to 100 or more. So there are three things that you want to focus on. Once you get into age 50 and beyond, you want to balance your enjoyment, your satisfaction, and your purpose. When you are younger, you are focused on high enjoyment and low in meaning. And that enjoyment, that self-satisfaction, not a bigger purpose of the world around you, actually leads you to more and more unhappiness.
I want it now, forget tomorrow kind of
Yes,
thing. Okay.
the striving brain, the know-it-all brain.
Right. You mentioned satisfaction. How does that evolve when you get a little bit older?
So your satisfaction comes to you from doing different things. In other words, if you are mindful of your purpose, you will get satisfaction if you are doing things that are bent on fulfilling your purpose, because purpose is usually part of helping others. I think that from the time you're born, you are attracted to things that are showing you every day what your purpose is. So you may see things that I don't see naturally, because your energy is tuned to that tuning fork of that particular purpose in your life. And you will identify yourself to people who you can connect with, even characters in a movie that inspire you. It's actually inspiring your purpose.
The website is longlifemindset.com, and you can get interactive with it on social media at Long Life Era Community Facebook group. This segment of the Long Life Era is powered by Paul Mortuaries and Cemeteries. Stay active, be healthy, they'd rather wait. Marla Letitia, founder of Long Life Era Community Facebook group. You can embrace the mindset at longlifemindset.com. We also know you as Nanny Bubby. Now, when we're talking about living in our Long Life Era, we want to ensure when we get there that we feel comfortable and happy. And I know everybody's got their specific definition of what that is. When we think of happiness in really any stage of life, how does the definition of it evolve compared to when we're younger, say?
Well, according to Arthur C. Brooks, who is a PhD and recently wrote a New York Times bestseller called From Strength to Strength, he compares the young brain, which he calls the striving brain, the brain that, all things looking forward. I want to strive. I want to achieve. I want to gain. The striving brain, which he defines as the fluid brain, then switches to the crystallized brain, which is a brain that is more in tune with experience and data.
You can embrace the mindset at longlifemindset.com and also get interactive with it on social media. How is Long Life Era Community Facebook group going these days?
Oh my gosh, it's going great. We are 9 months old, maybe 8 months old now. We have 350 members. It is a private group, so you do have to ask to join. And we have our 5-day exercise challenge going on right now. We are doing interviews with high-performance life coaches for those of you who want to jump into 2024 and really do a great job. And we're also looking at diet and lifestyle to ensure that we all live happy and have our lifespan equal our health span.
longlifemindset.com and also on social media at Long Life Era Community Facebook group. This segment of the Long Life Era is powered by Paul Mortuaries and Cemeteries. Stay active, be healthy, they'd rather wait. Marla Letitia is the founder of Long Life Era Community Facebook group. Now, last time we were talking, we were discussing how happiness changes in our Long Life Era than, say, when we are younger.
Right. So as we begin to mature, again, according to Dr. Arthur C. Brooks, who wrote the book Strength to Strength, as we begin to mature, we begin to lean into our own nature. We begin to trust it more. We begin to make discoveries of our soul, and we start working to find real purpose. And that is, as he defines it, our crystallized brain. And this is the brain that matures and combines experience with data and moves us into our teaching brains, our mentoring brains, our desire to give back to all to help make things better. And it becomes the brain where we switch from striver worker and burning ourselves out to mentor. And that's what you'll see in most people who are 50 and above.
You mentioned patterns on the outset. What is the one that we lean into most?
So we lean into most trying to avoid our unhappiness. The crystallized brain knows that to avoid your unhappiness is actually to avoid your happiness, because the only way out through anything that is making you unhappy is through, right? The only way out is through. You have to experience it. You have to feel it. You have to go against your own nature to avoid the unhappiness. You need to feel it. You need to lean into it. You need to grow from it. And you do that with 4 things, which are tuning into faith, family, friendship, spirituality. It's all about your relationships.
Now, the website is found at longlifemindset.com. You can get interactive on social media with it at Long Life Era Community Facebook group. This segment of the Long Life Era is powered by Paul Mortuaries and Cemeteries. Stay active, be healthy. They'd rather wait. Marla Letitia is founder of Long Life Era Community Facebook group. We also know her as Nanny Bubby, and you can embrace the mindset at longlifemindset.com. Well, when we're talking about living in our long life era, we want to ensure that when we do get there at the age of 50, all the way up to 100 plus, that we feel comfortable and happy. What sector of individuals living in their long life era that is 50 plus would you consider the most unhappy?
So believe it or not, and sadly, the most unhappy sector of people living in their long life era are 60-year-old men. It is really sad to think of that. But what happens is men begin to isolate more as they get older. And if they don't have a good partner who is active, they just fall into more of a depression and more isolation. And 2 things come about is men tend to feel that a feeling of a fear of failure. But fear of failure does not exactly equal death to most men. In other words, throughout your life, you may have attempted, failed, and tried again, and failed and tried again. And you found your life through figuring out through those failures. But what men fear most is their fear of irrelevance that absolutely equals death to them. So we know we're going to die. We are melting ice cubes, but we cannot conceive of non-existence. And men in their 60s get trapped between the fear of dying and the fear of becoming irrelevant, and they isolate.
The website is longlifemindset.com, and you can get interactive on social media at Long Life Era Community Facebook group. This segment of the Long Life Era powered by Paul Mortuaries and Cemeteries. Stay active, be healthy, they'd rather wait. Marla Letitia is the founder of Long Life Era Community Facebook group. She also goes by Nanny Bubby. You can embrace the mindset at longlifemindset.com. Okay, we talk about living in our long life era, age 50 to 100 plus years old. We want to ensure that when we do get there, that we feel comfortable and happy. Let's talk numbers and age diversity and its necessity in the workplace.
It is really important. And when you think about diversity, diversity is such a big thing in our social communities these days. Everybody's talking about diversity. But we have race diversity, we have, gender diversity, we have just about every kind of diversity we could possibly talk about. But age diversity is the last bastion of where we need to go to equalize all of society.
You say age diversity. What exactly do you mean by that?
Well, basically, of retirement age, the world expects you to retire, whether you want to or not. And there is a discrimination that goes to, well, you're too old to know how to do this, or you're too old to know how to do that. And that may be true, but for mostly now, especially with the baby boomer generation, they are really fixated in continuing to do things that maybe they were not able to do. And most companies are truly wanting to now hire in their C-suites, meaning CEO, CFO, CMO, those who are more experienced in order to balance out that fluid brain that we talked about in the last segments.
The website, longlifemindset.com. Get interactive with it on social media at Long Life Era Community Facebook Group.